I'm going to try a little quicker, a little faster than even last time now. Dariush Fahea, great jiu-jitsu matchup. Dariush, black belt. Fahea, third degree black belt. Fahea 17-2, only been finished once in his career, TKO. Dustin Poirier, he lost once right before that Dustin Poirier fight to Beneil Dariush. So he's down 0-1. That was 2014. He's on a 6 fighting streak since his 2 losses. He's got decisions over Oliver Arbon Mercier, TKO over Jared Gordon and Kyle Nelson, and then decisions over Rustem Kabulov and Mirabek Tusumov. And then he's got a submission in his most recent fight back in January 2020 over Anthony Pettis. Dariush, 19-4-1. He's on a 5-fight winning streak as well. He's a great jiu-jitsu fighter, but he's shown that he is evolving great in his striking. He's got a decision over Thiago Moyes, submission over Drew Dober and Frank Camacho, and then his knockout wins over Takar Close and Scott Holtzman. Scott Holtzman was a spinning back fist, pretty exciting. Both Holtzman and Close both got performance bonuses. Dariush coming in at plus 105, I think it's a little bit of a disrespect towards his striking abilities. I think Fahea might have a little bit of advantage on the ground, but striking, I think Dariush is going to be a little bit bigger of a guy. He's going to fill out that division a little bit better. I'm going to go Beneil Dariush in that fight. Cody Stenman was supposed to be fighting Andre Ewell. He's not fighting Ewell anymore. He'll be fighting Askar. Name so nice, you got to say it twice. So I got nothing for that one. That's going to make that one pretty short. Alejandro Pantoja will be taking on Manel Cape. Cape making his UFC debut. 15-4 with 14 finishes, 9 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's never been knocked out in his career, and he's been submitted twice. He's on a 3-fight winning streak at the moment, with his last fight being December of 2019, so a little over a year and 2 months ago. Pantoja's 22-5, 6-3 in the UFC. He's got losses to Dustin Ortiz, Deepsa Figueiredo, and Askar Askarov, which was his last fight. He's got 16 finishes, 8 knockouts, 8 submissions. He just seems to be a little bit more well-rounded than Cape. He's going to come in with a little bit of a size advantage over Cape. I'm going to go Alejandro Pantoja in that one as well. Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar, which if nobody previews that for Succa, I'll be doing that probably tomorrow. Sandhagen 5'11 with a 70-inch reach. Frankie Edgar 5'6 with a 68-inch reach. Sandhagen is 13-2, never been knocked out in his career, only been submitted twice. 8 finishes, 5 knockouts, 3 submission wins. 6-1 in the UFC. His only loss was to Aljamain Sterling, who's going to be fighting for the title here soon. That was June 2020. He's got wins over Marlon Reyes, Rafael Asuncao, and John Lineker. Frankie Edgar 24, 8-1, split decision over Pedro Munoz. His last fight was at 135. His debut was in May 2020. He won that over Pedro Munoz. That was his debut. He's got wins at featherweight over Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens, Chad Mendez, and then BJ Penn 3 times back in the day. So, he's used to dealing with strikers that are way bigger than him at 145. Corey Sandhagen, although he has the body frame of a 55er, or even a 70, smaller welterweight, he's still really, really skinny. He's got great jiu-jitsu off his back. Frankie Edgar, a great wrestler. I think Frankie Edgar is going to take the slight advantage in the cardio. Coming in at plus 350, it's hard to pick Edgar there, but wind chime's going. But yeah, I just can't do it. I really want to go Edgar. I really, really, really want to go Edgar because of I've liked Edgar for a long time. He's a veteran of the sport. I think he deserves to win, but I think Corey Sandhagen is going to be able to take care of Frankie Edgar pretty easily. Alistair Overeem, Alexander Volkov, extremely hard fight to pick. 47, 18-1 is Overeem, meaning he is on his 66th. This is going to be his 67th pro fight. He says this will be his last fight. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now over Walt Harris and Augusto Sakai, which is crazy to say this, but the world-class kickboxer and Alistair Overeem has developed his grappling to none other. He was able to dominate Walt Harris and Augusto Sakai in the wrestling grappling part of their fights, which is good. It's good for his longevity. I know this is going to be his last fight, but it has helped him get to this point to where he wants to finish strong. Volkov 32-8 with 40 pro fights, meaning that these guys combined have 106 pro fights. 21 wins by TKO, 6-2 in the UFC, his only 2 losses were to Derek Lewis, which we know he's winning every second of that fight before Derek Lewis knocked him out in the last second of the fight. And then his other loss was to Curtis Blades, who was able to grapple him and keep him down. Curtis Blades way better grappler than Alistair Overeem, but you never know, man. You never know just how bad Volkov's grappling is, or if Curtis Blades' grappling is just that good, and maybe Volkov is able to stop a couple takedowns for Overeem, keep it standing, and finish him there. I'm gonna go Alexander Volkov. I know I was flirting around with going with Overeem just based off the grappling, but I'm gonna go Volkov on that one. Rest of the card: Marion Renew, Macy Chesson, will be on the main card. Michael Johnson, Clay Guida kick off the prelims. Mike Rodriguez versus Danilo Marquez. Molly McCann versus Laura Procapo. Swing Woo Choi, Sing Woo Choi versus Youssef Zalal. Cara Rosa versus Joselie Edwards. Ode Osborne just got Jerome Rivera. He was supposed to get Denise Bonar fell out of the fight, so he's getting Jerome Rivera now. Devontae Smith picked up Justin James. And Tumir Belev, I think, is fighting. Who is this guy fighting? Now it's going to bother me. But a lot of people coming in as replacements. I think Justin James is in a good position to make a name for himself. He's able to get a win over Devonta Smith. Who is this guy? He's not fighting Martin Day, man. Who is he fighting? UFC website says Martin Day. I think it was Julio Arce, or maybe Martin Day's replacing Julio Arce. I'm not sure. Everything's fucked up nowadays with COVID, man. They put one thing on the UFC website, then another thing on this website, another thing on this website. You never know till the fight comes out, except for the main event. They're going to make the main event headline news. You're going to know if that changes. But anything else, it's free game. You never know. But those are the fights. So it's looking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fights on this card, barring any COVID fallouts or just injuries or anything like that. We still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to go, Saturday morning even, because there's some shit like that's been going on this year. You never know. We've had a pretty rough start, 18-17 to start the year. The first card of the year really fucked us up and went 3-7. Picked it up pretty well in the next 2 cards, but that first one fucked me up pretty bad. Hopefully we can pick it back up in this one. Appreciate you guys being here. Come back next Tuesday. We'll be previewing, I think, what's the next card? Let's see if the UFC's got it. It's not Lewis. Is it Lewis? Usman Burns, 258. 258 is the day before Valentine's Day. So shout out to Usman and Burns. That's going to be a crazy fight. They've done over 200 rounds of sparring. We'll see. Come back next Tuesday. We'll predict that card. Holla at me.